In this part of my multiboxing series, we will take a look on some farming beyond those quick daily tasks. For farming with multiple accounts at once, you have to develop a little different mindset. Most of the usual farms sucks because you simply have to move a lot and that's not that simple. On another hand, there are farms that sucks when you do them solo, but are great with boxes. At this point, you have to really start thinking about proper builds. For previously mentioned daily tasks, it mostly doesn't matter, but if you wanna farm something, you simply need them. And not the usual go berserk or go home, what I often hear from wannabe pros in open world PvE. Your ords need to withstand some damage and survive at least a minute without supervision. I always farm only with my 5 primary accounts since it's simply the most efficient number. Most skills and traits affect 5 and it's full party, so just enough for instance content. I have to again recommend my PvE engineer farming build with its superior survivability. Here it shines even more, and I can't imagine better build for this. A link to the guide is down below. I use a slightly modified version for multiboxing than you can see in my guide. Gear is still the same, just for secondary sigil take water one. Also, I like to swap hammer for rifle, since you will use flamethrower all the time anyway. And rifle have a leap for better mobility and it's convenient if you wanna auto-attack some boss from the distance. At least 2 of 5 NGs should have sneak gyro. Together it's enough to perma-stealth the entire party if necessary. The rest can use supply drop for extra damage and tagging. The third utility should be always bulwark gyro if you farm solo for permanent damage reduction. Or rocket turrets if there are others, it will help with tagging. In the traits, instead of bunker down, take medical dispersion field for sharing 50% of your healing with the party. With all those healing turrets, regens and sigils, it heals like crazy. At this point, you should consider buying Path of Fire for your farming party. Because mounts make things a lot faster, and with Living World Season 4 unlocked, you can participate in my first favorite solo farm, the Sunspear Caches in the domain of Istan. Those caches have a chance to drop Sunsight or Sunspear, not mention plenty of unidentified gear what isn't account bound, so you can open it or your main with boosted magic find. This run takes me around 20 minutes with 5 ords and I drop at least one of those weapons almost every day. Don't forget to check my guide and tag on markers for it. But let's go back to Heart of Thorns and vanilla farms, since you most likely won't buy Path of Fire. Do you remember Terran multi-loot? Well, with multiple accounts it's possible again. And since chests aren't tied to the event participation, you can use all your accounts. Besides amalgamated gems from the first big terror chest, you can also get them from other Heart of Thorns maps. To be honest, Dragon Stand and Tangled Depths are not much viable because you have to finish the entire meta there. But in the Verdant Brink, it's a matter of killing one night boss. Just jump there a few minutes before choppers land and kill Matriarch. Even on empty maps there are always people killing her. Personally, my most favorite multibox farm is in good old Silver Vases. If you have mounts, you can easily attend to Reba, but without them I would recommend occupying Amber Keep, since it's close to the lane and Breach Boss is static. If you have White Mantle portals, you can use one from the keep to lane and other from the lane just behind the beehive. And since my engineer build has permanent stability, you don't have to worry about getting kicked out of the cover. One full meta with 5 accounts, that is over 100 bags and 20 rare boxes, besides other loot if I remember correctly. Not mention that you have 5 times the chance to drop Queen Bee Infusion. If you are good at soloing dungeons, farming Dungeon Frequenter is also a semi-viable option, but it's not for everyone. You should rather solo a Ra and use your alts as placeholders while selling it, but overall, dungeons are not a good source of gold these days. Same for the fractals. Before level 40 nerf, it was quite a potent farm, but now you can skip it as well. Quite interesting can be the refining of various mats. This method itself has very low profit and it's basically limited by the speed of crafting itself, but remember, you will do it with multiple accounts at the same time and you can be AFK. The last and quite desperate farm is the custom arena. You get 15 silver for the win and 10 for the lose match. And there is a daily cap of 5 gold, so you can do it only about an hour till you reach it. On another hand, you can fit 20 accounts into the one arena. That's all I had for today, so if you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe or leave a comment and stay tuned for next time.